Hi, I'm Ashley from Sunny Made, and today we are going to make 8 at a time half square triangles. In my last two videos, we learned how to make 2 at a time half square triangles and 4 at a time half square triangles. And today we're going to make 8 at a time half square triangles. Say that 3 times fast. We're just going to start with the bigger piece of fabric, and just the way that you trim it up and sew it, you'll end up with 8 at a time. This is a great way if you're having some sort of quilt that you need to make lots of half square triangles at one time to use this method. Today, once again, we're going to try to make them back into 3.5 half square triangles at the end. So I'm going to start with 2 pieces of 8-inch fabric. Here is my colored print, which I'm going to put once again straight right side facing up on my cutting board, and then my background fabric is going right on top of it. Now, when I'm dealing with smaller pieces, I don't tend to use pins, but these are getting big enough that I definitely want to use pins. So I'm going to actually put one at the top and at the bottom. We're going to be drawing lines from corner to corner, so we want to make sure the pins stay out of the way of that. And you know what? Maybe I should. Ooh, this one's not big enough. Guess I gotta go for my big ruler. Okay, so we're taking our 2 squares and we're going to be drawing a diagonal line from corner to corner diagonally across the diamond. So I'm going to do it like it's a diamond on my mat because that's just easiest for me, as if just kind of like when I'm cutting it. And I'm going to draw it from one corner to the other, rotate it, and draw it from the other corner into its opposite. I'm gonna need that again when I cut it. Okay, I'm gonna go back and put this pin back in. That way it's all nice and neat. That way when I'm sewing it, it doesn't wiggle on me. So now, like our 2 at a time half square triangles, we're gonna go and sew a 1/4 inch up and down each side, rotate it, and do a 1/4 inch up and down this side as well. Now, a tip, if you have access to it, I use a 1/4 inch foot on my sewing machine. Makes it super easy. It gives me that edge right where I need it. I run it, the edge of my foot right along the line, and I go down one side, flip my thing around, and just go down the other. Okay, so this one, so my lines you can see on this one, but if you turn it around, you can see the sewing a lot better. See, I just went 1/4 inch on each side and a 1/4 inch on that side. So this one, you need to make sure you're paying attention, because when we cut it, you don't want it to move as you move your roller. So I'm going to start it as a diamond. I find that this way is easiest for me to cut it. Wish I had a different ruler, but this is what we have. Guess I could have gotten another one out of my sewing room. So I'm gonna start with lining it up on the diagonal seam that goes from left to right. And I'm gonna cut it. Then I need to very carefully pick up my ruler. I'm gonna place it. This one I can actually use. Oh yeah, you know what, okay, so I'm gonna do it side to side and then I'm gonna do it up and down. So I'm cutting it right along those lines that I drew at the beginning. This one I'm gonna actually use my a square for. Next, since this is an 8-inch square that I started with, I'm gonna line the edge up on my 4-inch line on my ruler. That way, when I'm cutting it now, so I'm gonna line it right up this edge and I'm gonna cut right down the middle. And then I'm gonna line it up on one of these edges and I'm gonna cut it this way. So when we get done, we're gonna have it cut on the diagonals. We're gonna have it cut up and down and straight across. So you're gonna have 4 cuts on this. And this is why we wanna be very careful when we cut and lift our ruler so that we're not getting it and it's getting all messed up. Okay, line it up on that other edge. I'm gonna cut that just like that. So now look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guess I should make sure. And then at this point, we get to trim them all up. And I'll just do a couple of them. These are gonna end up as 3.5 inches. Trim it up, and then I iron it open. And here you have your 3.5-inch triangle, or 3.5-inch half square triangles, and you have 8 of them now once you get them all trimmed up. Now there's one more thing I wanted to talk to you about when we're doing 8 at a time half square triangles. Instead of drawing your lines like this and sewing along them, there is another way that you could do it. Here, I've drawn the lines up and down, left to right, and then I drew a diagonal connecting the 2 sides. At that point, I just sewed a 1/4 inch on each side. So when you're done, it comes out like a diamond on your fabric. Then when we come in to trim them, you're gonna start with doing it. The up and down, you're gonna just cut on all the lines that you drew. I personally think that the other way is a bit quicker when it comes to cutting them apart. But some people like to do it this way so that it's quicker on the machine. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then once again, we're just going to trim this up either before or after. And then we're going to iron it open. And when you get those all done, you have, once again, 8 more. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I will answer them for you. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.